heard about COVID-19 pandemic. I believe this pandemic was so familiar to us, right? COVID-19 has been spread all over the world, was started in China in 2019, which then spread it to all of the countries. This virus has snatched many human life, starting from toddlers till the elders. The increasing of COVID-19 cases required countries to make various efforts to stop the spreading of this virus. Some regulations have been made. One of them is by changing our learning process into online learning. This is what I'm going to talk about. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, the honorable the judges, and all of the audiences. First of all, let us thank the God Almighty who have given us pleasures, health, opportunities, and happiness fulfilled today. And I would like to say thank you for the opportunity that has given to me in the speech competition. I'm Angelin from Vocational High School 2 Balikpapan. Based on my explanation before, on this occasion, allow me to deliver my speech about how the pandemic affects the learning process in Indonesia. During this pandemic, teachings and learning activities were disturbed due to social distancing regulation that requires teachers and students to teach and learn by online. Before this pandemic happened, offline school studying method allowed us to meet each other and study together in classes. But now, we can only do online learning. These changes have a big impact on student life. Why? Because there are some differences between offline and online learning. By studying offline, we can focus more on studying the material and also gather with friends. And for the teacher, it is certainly easier for them to explain the lesson to us and can get to know the students better. While studying online, we can only study through video conference app and cannot meet each other. This makes students feel uncomfortable and burdened with school activity. Not only students, but also parents who teach their children at home. They replace the roles of teachers temporarily, and this causes difficulties in learning process. Lots of people think that this kind of learning method is less effective. Take an example. Based on liputanam.com, during this period of distance learning, it is very difficult. There are many teachers who have difficulty managing the distance learning and also burdened with having to complete the lesson curriculum, said Nadim via the Ministry of Education and Cultures on Friday, 7 August 2020. Apart from educators, criticism is also came from parents who have difficulties following the online learning methods due to busy work and adapting when accompanying their children to learn from home. And there's also difficulties from students is to understanding the subject matter or curriculum that looks complicated. They feel that school is not optimal, said Nadim. This is due to the quality gap between children who have an access to technology and those who can't. Not everyone have an ability to fulfill the online learning facilities such as smartphone and internet. And there's also signal interference or weak signal in several areas in Indonesia. It is not only a problem in the internet and smartphone, but also a problem in the learning schedule. Many teachers didn't fulfill their proper schedule just because their activities are more prioritized so that learning is not optimal. Teachers only give assignment without an explanation. Then how can we understand? This problem will bring bad impact for student understanding. Based on Compass.com, from a survey conducted by Indonesian Child Protection Commission with teachers and students responded, stress with the distance learning at home is proven to be demonstrated. It turns out that 79.9% of students say that the distance learning process is without interaction, said Retno Listiarti during the webinar session Socio-Economic Impact of COVID-19 on Children in Indonesia, 12 May 2020. She also said that the teachers only give assignment and collect assignment without any interaction. The teachers didn't explain the material. Only 20.1% stated that there were interaction between teachers and students. This is why there's so many students are confused in doing their tasks, because there's no interactions and explanation from the teacher. From here, we can see that this problem can decrease the quality of students' learning. In addition, Indonesia is still not ready yet for the infrastructure and cultures for this online education. Once again, online learning just teach the student, but not educate them. Ladies and gentlemen, teaching and educating is different. Teaching was only transfer the knowledge with a various way so they can master the knowledge given and will be over when they understand or even they don't. Meanwhile, educating have a broader meaning. Educating is not only sufficient to provide knowledge or skills, but also must instill the high value of norms for the student. This is the most important one for their life. So from here, we can conclude that COVID-19 pandemic brings big effect for the learning process. The number of obstacles in teachings and learning activity were decreasing the quality of students' learning. Because of this pandemic happened, there are many changes that occur in our life, starting from our learning activity until the world health. Nowadays, the situation is getting worse. Many effort has been made by the government to stop the spreading of this virus. Our role as students is to obey the rules. Even though now we're forced to do the distance learning, certainly this doesn't prevent us from continuing to study, right? Keep up and study hard to achieve our goals. Like what Anthony G. Angelo said, develop a passion for learning, even though you will never cease to grow. And for the temporary solutions, I hope government support the distributions of free quotas and Android for those who are not capable to buy them. And for the teacher, should improve their skills in using online learning media so they can provide better learning for the student. Eventually, we can only surrender to God. Hopefully, this pandemic will end quickly. For keeping safe, we should obey the health protocols by using masks all the time, wash our hands, do social distancing. Together, we save Indonesia. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of my speech. I hope some of the points that I delivered today make us know how the pandemic affects the learning process in Indonesia, and I do apologize if there's any mistake. Thank you for the attention.